You probably know the feeling, sweaty, fast breathing, quick heart rate. That's a cortisol spike. It feels awful, and its imbalance is the cause of your anxiety. Rebalance Health's 3-part anxiety system helps address it at the root. Rebalance Health lozenges are natural and designed for optimal absorption, providing 24-hour relief. Live life fully without feeling like you're fighting for it. Get 50% off your first month with code CALM23 at rebalancehealth.com.
Yeah. So it's not Kaiju Night yet, but it will be soon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, Warner Brothers has just, they haven't just. I mean, when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, I like how they always try to tease people and be like, hey, should we go ahead and have, continue on this MonsterVerse or whatever? And I'm like, what the fuck you think? You're doing a great job.
I don't understand. I never understood this whole, hesitation to keep making these, fucking pretty great Godzilla movies.
They barely scratched the surface with the Rogues Gallery, of course. Keep making
more. Were they just going to stop at, him versus Kong 1, and then that's it?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should just continue on and until, wait, I think I know what it is. It must be licensing. It must be contracts.
I'm pretty sure. It's got to do with, royalties and who has, licensing or, domain rights where it gets released and previewed and shit.
Yeah, I just think, if anything, Godzilla's still alive. If you're going to finish this, Godzilla has to die, Kind of like in Godzilla vs. Destroyer. He has to melt down or something.
Yeah, he has to almost, overheat, right? The climax has to be a willing, worthy sacrifice for Godzilla.
Yeah, that'd be the way to do it.
And they hinted at it. They hinted at it in fucking, King of All Monsters with that big supernova thing he was doing, right? That radioactive blast thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you're right. It's there. It's up to them if they're gonna fucking do anything with it or not.
Because when you've got something this great going on, if anything, they're not really where it's the 5th act. If we're going by the 5-act principle, they're right there at maybe 3 or maybe 4. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah.
Because that'd be the way to work with that. It's so good. I mean, it's not like what Universal was trying to do. Now, that was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Have we figured out what is that? Is that my mic? Do I sound like that? Or?
I think it's Brother Al's mic. Speaking of Al, there he is.
All right.
Yeah, that's you, isn't it, Al? Is that your fan?
What fan?
The white noise.
No, yeah, because you white. I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, how could they not tell this? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go ahead and get started because it is the Monster Fest again. And you know what? We're going to have to go ahead and pick up on it, guys. So, let's go ahead and introduce the hangout, alright?
Sure.
Very well.
Wow, that is so... You know what? Whatever. Let me just go ahead and start the whole thing up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was highly enthusiastic. Anyway, back to this. Here we go. Okay, fine. We'll team up. I'm J-Man, and this is J360 Hangout here on...
J360 Radio!
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org. It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great, but with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Yeah. So that was a funny downplay right there. But, I got to respect my brothers on this for joining in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the J360 Hangouts for episode 19. This here is a Monster Fest edition. And you can hear the Monster Fest wind coming in right now. And let me take care of that for y'all. All right. So, as we are here to discuss what's going on in the horrific times that are befalling around us, and no, I'm not talking about Joe Biden sniffing somebody's hair, let's go ahead and introduce the panel tonight. All right, joining me, of course, is my brother Alan and my other brother Marco.
Yo, what's going on?
Yep.
Hello,
We are here to
hello.
discuss some of the crazy things that are going on in the horror universes that we all enjoy around this time of the year, and then some of the ones that we have no choice but to experience.
Nice.
Yes. And it's good to bring everybody back for another hangout sesh.
For sure, absolutely.
Oh, man. So,
Indeed.
anybody see Venom yet?
I have not.
No.
No.
Gee, that bad, huh? I mean, he's the lethal protector. Why not?
Just COVID, and I mean,
Oh, you can't go
scared,
by that
eh?
no more.
I don't know. Like, I don't. It's hard to say that. Like, this is gonna sound fucked up. I don't really have any genuine interest in watching Venom 2, right? Like, and I find that more and more as like more movies come out, it's hard for me to find like interest in watching a lot of these. Like, I think especially because you and Eric kind of gave me your guys' take on it, and it's kind of like what I figured. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I probably will. I don't think I'm going to rush out to the movies to see it, like the theaters. But who knows?
Oh, yeah. What about you, Al?
Well, I have no reason to, because nothing will ever top the backstory of Sandman from Spider-Man 3, so why would I care about Venom?
Hey, man, he's not a bad guy. He just had bad luck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And Thomas Hayden Church really played that role. Like, I'm not kidding. He
Nailed
did a good
it.
job. He did a good job.
Yeah, he actually... That's a pretty fucking underrated role in that movie. Like, that character in fucking... Like, technically is, like, the narrative glue. Like, the conceptual glue of that movie. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think... yeah, I agree.
Too bad it was just poorly written, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dare I say it? But,
Yeah.
his characterization in the novelization was 10 times better than what we got.
Well, see, the issue is that Ted and Sam Raimi wrote it, and then Avi Arad got in the editing room for it.
Yes.
So, Avi Arad is also the man who wanted to make, like, those fucking Daredevil and Ghost Rider movies. So, there you go.
A very evil man.
He also was the one who, like, spearheaded the direction of, like, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, where, like, all of a sudden the next one had to have, like, 18 bad guys in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, initially, he
probably
had
got
some good
inspired
ideas.
from Batman and Robin.
Oh.
So what now?
Well,
What?
he got the idea from Batman and Robin, though. Obviously, throwing as many enemies in like one movie as possible.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
When you're not really confident in the concept, you just kind of like throw shit at the wall.
Mm-hmm. But why you gotta do it like in the middle of production when it's already stressful enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because the movie. I have a theory about it. They know that they like didn't write a good movie. They know it's shit, so they're trying to do fan service by throwing as many things in it as possible.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, the story that they wrote for Spider-Man 3 has a very interesting, like, development, because the story that they wrote was kind of the bones of what's there, but, like, much longer and much deeper, right? And then so Sam Raimi's big fuck you is, like, he put in the dance number. Like it was his way of just kind of going, if I can't make this thing, I'm out. Kind of like, this is my way of being out. Is like, I'm never doing this again. You know. So,
way to go, Sam. Right.
He did it.
I mean, like, I really did enjoy his take on Spider-Man anyway. I mean, it's just that, you know, what they did with 3 in some areas was just more or less the studio doing it, not him. So that's why.
I mean,
I was looking at it, you know.
If you look at like Sam Raimi's background, especially like in horror movies, I don't think that's like the scariest Venom he could have made.
No,
right?
Actually, he didn't even want Venom in the movie. Like that was.
Yeah, he didn't. He wanted it to just be Sandman because he thought that was the movie, which is why Sandman was like so fucking good in the movie, even though he's in it for like a total of 4 minutes, maybe.
At least. But then there's also the story arc with you know, Harry, and that had to get dealt with.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it really didn't. Like, I don't think that adds anything to the movie. I think that's my biggest thing too. Is James Franco like cannot act. So the more they gave him to do, like that was complicated character work, the less. Like when he's like, "These are my friends," and he's like smiling in that fucking hospital room. Did you guys think that was good? Because I
thought it was amazing. It was the most believable acting I've ever heard.
That was good cheese.
And I think everyone involved was just like, man, fuck this. You know, like halfway through probably just was already dealing with the studio because it works in phases. The script can get greenlit, yeah. But then on the day, the producer's going to come down and be like, okay, so Sam, we don't want to do this, this, or this. And you're like, what? And that's like your whole fucking concept. The shit they don't want to shoot.
Right.
You know? So.
I mean, like, it's you know, what did they say? Kill your darlings or something like that. But after a while, you'll realize this shit just became uglier than it needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's the not the David Fincher, but the fucking David Ayer issue with like Suicide Squad, right? Mm-hmm. Like he put out this whole statement where the movie's like almost an hour longer, and there's literally like not a piece of like radio music in it. There's no radio music sequences and shit like that, which goes to show you how far the studio went in like butchering the concept for that.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
just to make it cool.
Yeah, to make it what do they say, relatable to the new age.
Yeah.
And whatever the hell that new age was. But you see, once again, folks, it seemed like we kind of trailed off, but we didn't. Because there it is, studio filmmaking is a monster all of its own.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of Hollywood studio monsters. My favorite monster is Weinstein. You guys hear about that one?
Yeah, he's the constant one. And we could also talk about the guy who, what was his name? Bryan Singer. That's another one. And
yeah,
Brett
he's
Ratner
like the original Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah. Like old Ratner, he not only did he rape X-Men, but he managed to abuse and mutilate other women.
He raped X-Men, you said.
What
a fucking visual that is. He raped the X-Men.
Do you think it was like, was he lurking outside the bathroom door of Beast when he was like, you know, washing his face or something?
Right.
You know he was.
It's like
he was in the middle of doing it.
Him and Louis C.K. trapping Beast in a corner.
No, don't do this to me.
Yeah. No. Oh, shit. Yeah, he was on Xavier just like Apocalypse was on Xavier.
Don't Jerry Sandusky me.
I mean, hey. That's what it reminded me of, though, when I was watching X-Men Apocalypse. I was like, he really wants his body.
Dude, I never saw Apocalypse. I'll be honest. That's the one with fucking...
Oscar Isaacs as Apocalypse.
Yeah, right. I tried to watch the first, I tried to watch the fucking first, 10 minutes, and I was out. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just like, I don't know what this is. It looks like shit.
It didn't get any better after what you
saw. And, of course, the fucking movie starts them off by going back in time, and I'm like, I'm out. We've done this, 11 times already with these fucking movies.
And it's going to get worse because everything's now a time travel experience. But not only that, it didn't get much better. Apocalypse was barely in the fucking movie. And, yeah, all he really wanted was just Xavier's body. And he made sure to let you know about it.
Right. Am I like this is gonna sound real quick to not get off the monster point of view, but like is it just me or do a lot of Marvel storylines rely on time travel?
Yeah, especially when they got to refresh the timeline and like what happened didn't happen, and we can go about that in terms of the different mediums. Like right now, because of the biggest dumbest movie ever made, we're gonna be going through this a lot, especially with the Loki show too.
Yeah, I didn't. I fucking skipped that. I couldn't do it, dude. I just don't have any. I don't fucking. Why? I saw it end. I saw Thanos. Like you can't give me more than that. You fucked yourself. Sorry. Like you can't hold my interest anymore. You know.
I mean, we can't even get a decent Ghost Rider adaptation. Like, well, we did, but we didn't because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon anymore, allegedly. So, yeah.
Right.
So,
what about you, Al?
Yeah. Come on, wake up,
Yeah,
man. Don't join the dead yet. Come on.
I think he left. What happened? Where'd he
It's
go?
too late, good sir.
He's all decrepit now.
He's all dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would like to see another anthology-based movie come together, you know? I know a lot of the indie crowds are doing it because it's a good way for, like, different directors to go ahead and show their niche. But I would like to see something like Four Rooms or even like the original Vault of Horror being brought back into theaters now. That would be nice.
Yeah, but to go back to what you're saying, too, like, in those things, like, what makes a monster is, like, a lot of those anthology series, like, they have some pretty amazing monster concepts, I think. Like the Twilight Zone movie, like probably one of the most famous ones is the Gremlin on the plane, right?
Yes.
The plane. And that's a funny thing too, because you don't really see that a lot either. It's there for like the immediate satisfaction of like staring out the window with like the main character, but then the design isn't like super duper unique. You know what I mean? It's just I think what defines a monster too is the way you present it. Kind of like Jaws, right? It's just a fucking shark. But the right pacing, the right amount of teasing the concept, and the next thing you know, you got yourself an iconic monster, but it's just a giant fish.
Yeah,
like,
with an attitude problem, pretty much, just coming out of the woodwork and saying, "No, this is my land," and any of y'all that step into my realm, you're just as good as lunch. And the way they did it with subtlety, like I always say this, I was telling Al about this earlier. Like when you show too much of the monster, it loses its effectiveness. If you go about it like with small doses and you leave that impact, people are going to be talking about it. But if you show it too much and have them crack a whole bunch of jokes that really don't make any sense or age well, then this is where we are.
Ooh, look at that subtle Freddy Krueger shade right there. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but the same thing is with let's see, Crypt Keeper. Like he was the host, so I mean, more or less, it didn't really matter with him. And he was always creepy whenever he came out of the fucking casket during the show opening.
You know what? Yeah, the HBO series, I think, too, is also fucking super highly underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And those movies, like Demon Knight, is fucking really underrated. Yeah.
I used to love Demon Knight and Bordello.
Yeah. Is Demon Knight the one where, like, Dennis Miller is an action hero?
No, that's Bordello, but still.
That's what it is. Oh, man, dude.
It was awesome, though.
Great.
He's like, I'm just my everyday horny citizen. And I was like, that damn Dennis Miller.
Fucking awesome, dude. That was fucking. I gotta watch that movie again, man.
It didn't have like Chris Sarandon from Fright Night in there as a preacher. I was like, this movie is class. I'll give a shit.
Yeah, dude, because it knows exactly what it wants to be, though. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the things too. Where I think a lot of monster movies now, where I think like don't really work, because I think people are afraid to write these things where the monster knows exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. That's a problem. And I always say, like, just tell us your story and make sure you have a pretty good concept behind why all this stuff is happening. I mean, like, that one that was called The Boy, right, with that doll, like, it was okay in the beginning, but round about the middle, you can see they were running out of like exactly where to take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like maybe a couple of retweaks, it should be fine. But I don't know whether it's like the studio stressing out the people or like they're not really trying anymore. I don't really know.
I mean, have we gone past the age of making a good monster movie?
No, I don't think
Because
so.
Like we have a shit ton of like ghost movies, right? Like there's there even aren't they fucking making the Paranormal Activity movies or rebooting them or some shit like that, right?
God. Yeah, they are. And once again, that should not even be a thing right now. Like it only took you till like the 5th movie to actually get some real explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like,
what was
something
the
about that
of
just
what was going on?
It was typical shit. Oh, my great grandma was a witch, and the family has a curse on it.
That's a good deal.
That was the whole point,
dude. That's literally where the story goes. That's it. It's like it's every bad 80s like horror ghost.
No, you would have been cool. It turns out, like back in the day, like in the Secret Life, whatever, a relative of the person was actually a Walmart cashier and ripped off all these people, and eventually they all came back to the grave to haunt their family. That would have been a better plot twist.
Yeah. I think honestly anything would have been fucking way better.
What about because she watched the Rosie O'Donnell show once, and since then all the Republicans are coming back to haunt her.
The Rosie O'Donnell show.
Or the best thing would be like fucking it would just be like she had the ring tape and she recorded a Rosie O'Donnell show over it.
Which, by the way, The Ring was a decent film, and then they made that second one. I was like, I don't want to know the backstory of this character too much. It's fine just the way it is.
Yeah, I don't understand. The U.S. went through this weird like hard-on for like Asian revamps like of Japanese movies, right? So like all it gave us was really fucking terrible adaptations of this shit. Like really, really bad adaptations. Like the Ring one is passable, maybe. But when you watch it again, it does not hold up very well in terms of like its concept or the way they present it as like this ultra serious, like really deep exploration of a girl who was just left in a fucking barn. Like when you think about it, like her parents were just mean. And then she fell in a well, which is like a Simpsons episode, I think.
It was. Yeah, Bart fell in the well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, this is it?
Yep.
That's all we got, huh?
What we were going to get out of that one, and thank God we didn't get a third one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, but we did get the Ring 3. I mean, I'm sorry, we did get Fear 3, though, so that was kind of like it.
Yeah, because the Fear series pretty much was based off of that.
Yeah, it was. It was shamelessly based off it.
Yeah, that was a pretty fucking blatant ripoff. That was pretty nuts.
Alma.
Yeah. Mexican Ghost? I don't know. Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, Mexican Ghost would be fantastic. Well, no, I'm not going to go there. But
well, you know what? They kind of did that too. With, oh my god!
Instead of blood, it's sriracha coming out of her eyes.
Oh man!
I'm coming to get you, SA.
Where are you, Holmes? Like
hey,
that?
Holmes.
Yeah.
You know,
hey Holmes, I'm haunted, man.
Check it out, a spooky fool.
You're gonna hunk up your house.
It's me, Mr. Spooky. Yeah, fucking terrible, dude.
Hey, speaking of which, though, I remember like when the Rec movies were really good. The REC movies. Now those are some good movies. But then Quarantine came along, and you're like, oh fuck.
Do you think did found footage ruin? Yo, here's a good thought, right? Based off that, right? Did found footage ruin the monster movie? Because a lot of found footage movies were like, they had a monster in it, but you just never saw it because they could just like hide it with like a bunch of wonky camera bullshit.
Right? You mean like Blair Witch, pretty much? Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And
Blair Witch was such a brilliant movie, though. It really was.
It's
a pretty smart. It's a smart ass made movie, dude. From marketing the concept to everything, like the way they did it. is kind of fucking nuts.
And then they completely ruined it with the sequel. Like, not just
Yes.
like ruined it, destroyed it. You could not even try to make that good again.
Oh yeah, Book of
Yeah,
Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like you can't even enjoy the original anymore because of how bad the fucking sequel is. Just knowing that, like, they tried it and it was so stupid. Like, so dumb.
I mean, that had to be intentional for it to be that bad. There's no other way.
I think so. I think
Like-
it was just like a whatever thing. You know what I mean?
I literally wondered if like producer or developer who was making this movie just like had enough of people asking about it, so they just put out this shitty sequel.
I honestly
So no one
think that
will talk
actually
about it.
might be why and how it got made. I honestly think it is a scenario in which, like, they were just like, you know what, dude, fuck it. Like, they gave us money, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
But
So,
what I
it's
would
like the
say
premise
is-
that Freddy got fingered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
kinda.
you go. There you go. But yeah, he's right.
No, yeah. Freddy Got Fingered is definitely like it's a parody of the system. Like, as long as you get enough notoriety, they'll give you anything,
Yeah, true.
you know?
To be fair, that movie was secretly brilliant, though. It was great.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Definitely,
especially after making fun of everything and bringing things to light.
Yeah. Years before, like, Tim and Eric, I think Tom Green gets he doesn't get enough credit for starting a lot of shit, honestly. Like that super absurdist, like, Eric Andre, Man on the Street type presentation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of fucking nuts when you think about it.
You know, I was also thinking,
Right.
when it gets down to it, like some movies, and I think we've all said this before, and we're gonna keep saying it, but some movies don't really need sequels. If you can get them with that,
No.
you know what I mean? If you can get them with that, it doesn't need anything anymore. Like The Ring, definitely good. The Wreck movies
Yeah.
that we were just talking about, like, they pretty much all happen at the same time in different areas, so they're parallel stories.
Someday we'll get a Sixth Sense 2.
I hope
Hell
not.
yeah.
Seventh
Well,
Sense.
then again, it could be somebody different, right? It could be like, I don't know, somebody else that has the gift, maybe. Like, how would you go about that? Like, what would be your concept?
Isn't that just like Medium? Remember that show Medium?
Was it CBS?
No, my concept is having Anakin Skywalker in a mental institution seeing dead people for 2 hours.
Well, he did
That'd be
kind of see
sick.
dead people in episode 3, remember? Padme died in childbirth.
Yeah, and in the end, he's doing all this, and he's just talking to a skeleton of Obi-Wan Kenobi that he killed.
You know, it'd be sick if, like, in reality, it's just the guy who plays Anakin, grown up, but like, he just keeps screaming, "It feels like sand," and he's just talking to like a pile of robes that he thinks is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now, keep in mind, he was definitely a tragic monster at best, you know? Even though most of the stuff was kind of his own doing.
Yeah, I don't. Is Darth Vader supposed
There
to
are
be tragic?
people-
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I thought he was an asshole, right?
A
He
tragic
is,
asshole.
He is an ass.
Thank you.
He's
Like,
an asshole.
I thought he
Yeah.
was just supposed to be a genuine fucking asshole that happened to be Luke's dad. I didn't think we were all supposed to sit here and like fucking cry over it.
Oh, no,
No,
you don't
he
cry
was
over it. You're supposed to be like, damn, that sucks, and keep on going.
No, he was generally an asshole, though. Think about it. Like,
well, you
he
don't think
yeah.
that most people that are monsters are assholes? I mean,
no, he generally did not give a fuck about anyone or any good. All he cared
Yeah.
about was like, you know, sexing up his wife. That's
Yeah,
all
like
cared about.
he was so sexually pent up that he just went fucking crazy because he never got laid. Like, literally, if you watch those movies, that's his. He's like that Elliot Rodgers guy. If Elliot Rodgers had like
yeah.
Harry Potter powers.
Well, you know, it's not always a good origin story that makes a nightmare. You know what I mean?
I mean, think about it. This guy like had like the fate of the world in his hands, and all he cared about was his stupid wife that was gonna die anyways.
Yeah.
Nah.
and didn't give a fuck about his kids and everything. And
Wait. He didn't even know he had him at that point. He thought they died after he
Well, she was
force choked her. You know? It's like, oh, wait, she's pregnant. Holy shit.
Yeah. The younglings, get out of here with this shit.
And then to make it worse, right? He was listening to a guy who looked like a burn victim. I can't take it seriously.
You're not supposed to take it seriously. It's Star Wars, damn it.
It's like, Anakin, I'm a burn victim. Follow me. Okay.
They will
what?
kill us.
And Mace Windu is probably still flying up in that air. We never saw him drop, so he is probably still up in the air
He's
right
still
now.
falling. You don't know what the gravitational pull is like on these other planets. So, like,
Yeah,
he could still be falling for sure.
Yeah, he could pass by us in real time any moment now. It's, like, absolutely terrifying to think about.
Well, technically, he went to another universe, you know? Because, like, the first time beforehand, he was ate by a shark. Then later on, he becomes a Jedi Master, loses his arm, and currently floating in the abyss somewhere, only to land and hang out with superheroes.
Hey, if
one
Boba
eye
Fett
missing.
is still alive, if Boba Fett's still alive, which they wrote him to still be alive, then Mace Windu is still alive.
Well,
You know what
chances
the
are he
fucking-
might be.
Yeah, you know what the crazy thing is to me, though, is, like, the only thing I don't understand is they show you Darth Vader, and he's a complete fucking asshole in his whole arc, right? And then he gets these, like, parts and pieces put on him after he, like, takes a lava bath.
Well,
And,
yeah.
And then, like... And then at the end, he's like, "No!" Like we're all supposed to go, "Oh, poor Darth
yeah.
Vader." It's
That
just
whole
like,
thing-
who fucking
was
cares?
forced.
Yeah,
Like that whole thing was a forced
Frankenstein
reference
moment,
to,
and
yes.
and it did not work, dude. It did not work at all.
Oh my god, I actually laughed a little as soon as I saw that.
Yes. You knew before memes were memes. You knew that this was going to be a meme at some point.
Yes.
Well, I think the worst part is Obi-Wan warned him, "Don't do it."
I have the
Don't
higher
do
ground,
it.
Anakin. Yeah.
And then with one swipe,
Yeah. At one swipe, his life was over. You know. It's like,
I have the higher
hate
ground.
you!
Yeah. Ah.
you don't have to
Okay.
cry about it. I mean, yeah, you
I
lost
know.
a win, but you don't have to cry about it.
I fucking told
he
you,
was
dude.
burning though, you know, like
Well, he got literally burned. You know.
Yeah, like-
seriously, burned from his master.
It's just so funny to me, dude. It's
like
just like
the whole immolation scene was pretty funny too. Yeah.
yes, like just how they put him together like a fucking Lego character, you know? They just like snapped on arms and shit, and you're like, whatever, who fucking cares?
I mean, for
But then they made the story
PG-13,
that-
allegedly, that would be like the most graphic thing we'd ever see. That's why they were
And then
trying
they
to make it like that, even though.
Then they
wasn't.
make it weaker, right? Then they're like, "Oh, because he's half robot, he's not as powerful as he once was." What?
You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you notice that the more they kept adding to the lore on that shit, the more annoying it got.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if remember that same guy made the Force Unleashed video game like canon. The guy was fucking like destroying everything in his sight in like a snap of a finger, and allegedly the robot made him weaker. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
That's
I don't.
because
There's
a lot, of, them
shit that just.
were asking about that, and that was George Lucas's way of shutting people up. So you know.
You know what I honestly think it is though. I think it's. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Sorry, Jay, you actually finished it before I could even say it. But I think it was honestly just like a fuck you.
Yeah.
Like a please leave me alone.
Like, this is the last story that you're going to get from me, so here you go. And then later on, you get some stuff from Disney, along with extra other things that you don't want. So, yeah.
And yeah, none of it you want.
I wonder how relieved George Lucas is that he doesn't have to do Star Wars anymore.
He probably realized that he wrote a story that goes absolutely nowhere, and outside of like the 3 that he made, the story isn't very interesting anymore.
Well, it damn sure isn't interesting now.
Yeah.
It's become a lifestyle brand. Like
That's what I'm
everything
saying. Is like outside of episode 4, 5, and 6, like what else do you need to know?
Pod racing.
Yeah,
Oh,
more
man.
funny creatures.
I mean, but I gotta admit, as a tragic monster, though, Vader does have it, but he's an asshole too, and that's why we like him.
But like, is it tragic? Like, literally think about how he lost his limbs. Somebody warned him not
Okay.
to do it, and he was a fucking shithead.
You failed to. You underestimate me and my power. Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's like, trust me, I don't. Trust me, I do not.
Don't do it. Actually, he didn't even warn him once. He warned him like 3 times.
Yeah, he used like reverse psychology.
What did Anakin think was gonna happen? Like, was he gonna did he think he was so powerful he was gonna transport into another dimension?
He probably sits there and thinks about it all the time. Like, why did I jump?
Yeah, it's at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Yes.
It's just like,
what, you think Darth Vader's like sitting like in his own room being like, man, if I did jump into that lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes.
That really brings that whole scene in Empire in perspective, where like his helmet's coming down.
Yes.
That's him sitting there thinking about it.
Yeah, he's sitting in that ball of regret.
He's going through the 5 stages of grief every day.
Fucking day, like, damn, dude, I gotta put my fucking my permanent asthma inhaler in my chest.
Yeah.
So you think when he like travels to other planets, you think he like carries like an EpiPen too, just in case?
Yes. I think what we don't realize is Darth Vader is such a big old bitch that we haven't realized it yet.
Okay, so pretty much for Monster Fest Hall, we're gonna say Darth Vader's a bitch. We're not gonna say he's like a monster anymore.
No, because none of the movies even like if he was this strong of like a Spectre, wouldn't we see him like we saw Luke in like the new ones? Like, wouldn't he be this like omnipresent evil ghost, right? And even then, at the end,
Star Wars is evil. Yeah, that counts.
And then even at the end, they made him like some like happy-go-lucky, like look at this like space force projection, him happy at this wedding, in this other shit, right?
But he can change ages in between. But he changed ages between DVD releases.
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Like, this guy's the like he's like a fucking kitty cat. He's not even.
So,
does anybody sit here and really think that Darth Vader is scary?
No, but the funny part is like the evil shit he does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Darth Vader's idea of evil is like putting the roll of toilet paper in the toilet and flushing it.
Well, that depends on if it's 3-ply or not, and what it does to the septic.
Well, I mean, okay, if you think about it, has anybody from the Imperials looked intimidated at all? They all dressed like idiots running around.
Well, especially now with that stupid shit Disney did for their helmets and crap with the smile on it.
Yes.
And not only that, like the stormtroopers looked like they got like their freaking like stuff from a Halloween store, like on clearance. They're running around with complete plastic. They wear all this armor, but yet a laser shot can kill them in a second.
Yeah.
Yes. And the funny thing is like everybody, and they all dress like they're from like some weird '80s pop band, you know, like the B-52s.
And don't forget, a lot of them got killed by little teddy bears. You know, like
yes.
What's so threatening about the Imperials? Yeah.
Well, there's supposed to be this great super force of That's it. That's all it's supposed to be.
The super force. Yeah.
Yeah. That is all they're wholly supposed to be. They're supposed to be just evil based soldiers, and they can't shoot for shit. And it took like a smuggler, a farm boy, and 2 droids to go ahead and find their weakness. Among other things.
Was there an explanation why these people joined the Stormtroopers? Like, what was the actual reason?
Well, in the original Attack of the Clones, they were originally clones, but then later on, I think it was people signing up or some shit.
Yes, yeah, like actual recruits and shit like that.
Yeah. And
why would you sign up for that? Why would they sign up for it? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
great healthcare, good dental.
No.
I'd certainly hope.
No.
Really good dental with that plastic helmet. You think you're going to be okay?
Well, not only that, but what Palpatine in charge? Palpatine doesn't give a damn about good oral care.
I don't know. Maybe he does.
I would like to see. I would love to see the Star Wars movie based on the fact that, like, how do you convince guys to join up in the Stormtroopers? And it's just guys like literally going on campaigns talking about oral health care and fucking like union coverage and all this other shit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's probably a little TV commercial. It's a Darth Vader choking like fellow officers. Don't be like this guy. Join and make a difference.
Yeah.
You know something? As crazy as all that's going down, we might have to this is definitely about the Monster Fest here because it just goes to show how evil production is, and then how like lore can be manipulated and all the retconning that goes into play. And then
I think that's one thing too is like
probably see like Darth Vader as a monster, but I think if we start putting logic in things like that, kind of ruins it.
I mean, they tried to do the same thing with like Kylo Ren, right? They tried to make him seem like he was some despicable guy, but he's just like he's a big old bitch too.
Yeah,
it's
emo
just
bitch.
like, oh, okay, cool. You're just like your fucking uncle or whatever. Great.
Actually, when you make Pyro seem cool from the X-Men, you have a problem.
He was never cool.
I know.
No, Pyro's a bitch too, but at least Pyro was like macking an actual woman, not a woman who looked like a reptilian. So props to Pyro, Like seriously, like
okay,
seriously,
we're gonna go that far.
No, like, did anybody ever see that? I don't know. I saw like episode whatever it was, the first Disney one. So that was like episode 7. And I just remember this awkward scene in the movie that happened, right? And it was like something with a lightsaber. They're tangled up or something. And I swear, I don't know what the production of it was, but they're just standing there and like they're breathing heavily. And this scene lasted like 10 minutes. Okay, like a minute, but like 10 minutes. And it was the most awkward thing ever. And I'm like, who is this for? Like, why is this here?
Why is this a scene right now?
Yeah, and it's making the chick look like a reptilian. It's this weird. I don't know. I hated it.
Oh, man. Well, let's go ahead and talk about something that you would really like the Dark Universe over there at Universal.
The Dark Universe.
It had potential.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't. Well, actually,
actually,
it did. That whole scene with Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll becoming Mr. Hyde. There's a story there they missed out on. But it didn't have to be in The Mummy.
Yeah, I don't...
Well,
the
problem is with the whole Dark Universe, they didn't have to make it an over-budget thing like the Avengers. There was no reason for it. If they did something like that and kept it to what it was, it would have been fantastic. But they fucked it up.
Oh, and it ain't the first time that they did it with just the Mummy. Like, remember Dracula Untold was supposed to be the one that started off.
Dracula's on a smartphone contacting like Frankenstein's monster. You down?
Yeah, we need to team up.
You down?
Yeah.
Oh man, like what was it all going to lead to? Now that I think about it, like what was like their big end game? Because there was one.
What were they supposed to be fighting? Do you guys know? Like, what was going to end up being the big bad guy out of all the big bad guys?
Yeah,
Joe Biden.
He's the Mummy.
No.
Yeah, because it's obvious what's going down, right? Because everyone was in quarantine for a year. Dracula couldn't get after people and go to parties and suck up on some women and stuff. So he's pissed off, and then he has to wear a freaking mask so he can't bite people. All the start that he had to call Frankenstein's monster, going, "We got to do something about this man." So then he goes, runs, and he's calling out the Wolfman, stuff like that, and they're joining up in the streets trying to get people out. And, but unfortunately the lockdown's going out, so they're going to rebel against the system, man. And that's what this movie, that's what the Dark Universe should have been.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
With Joe Biden not able to sniff hair and go ahead and talk about corn pop and everything. So, yeah, this is a very, very criminal offense. He must be stopped.
I defeated you like I defeated corn pop, son. But I'm a vampire, good sir.
Yo, that would be wild.
The funniest thing to me is what if the the COVID thing came from a bat, but it's from Dracula?
Everyone blames Dracula, and it wasn't actually him. So, Dracula's just being all emo and shit for 2 movies.
He's just sad.
Yeah, he's just going to the newsstand.
He's sad.
Yeah, he's going to the newsstand to get some gum, and they're like, "We don't serve vampires here for what you did."
Oh wow, they actively know he's a vampire. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, he has giant ass teeth. I think you know.
He doesn't show them all the time.
Well, you think with his popularity, you think he would.
Well, you know what? To be fair, though, There were some good modern takes on Dracula, though. Like Dracula 2000 was actually pretty decent.
No, that Dracula movie from 1970s was so good.
Which one? The ones with Christopher
Oh my
Lee?
god, I can't. It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
yeah.
The
Was it
Hammer
like
horror
Dracula
movies were great.
76 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
I
So
like,
fantastic.
I like those Peter Cushing Frankenstein films too. Still waiting for them to come in the mail.
I actually randomly downloaded Blackula the other day. I gotta
That's a
give
good
that
movie.
watch.
Blackula's
Is
okay.
it really?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh man, I'm pretty excited about it.
It's Blackenstein that sucks.
Wait, there's a Blackenstein,
Oh yes.
and I am not aware of it until today.
and you only need to watch it one time. I'm not gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and tell you not to, but yeah, one time's all you need, Al. Go ahead
Wait a
and
minute.
knock
Why
something
was?
out.
Hold on a minute. Why wasn't this talked about on Monster Fest?
It
There was
is
a
on Monster
Blackenstein-
Fest? We're talking about it now.
Yeah,
Well, now I'm gonna have to watch it. Oh
I
my
told
God.
you. Yeah, you the man with 5 picks.
Well, now it's 6. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
now
gonna
it's an
watch
even
Blackenstein.
pick 6.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, like you're gonna watch that on your own, Al.
Whoa.
I've seen enough of that.
what
That's
happens?
fucking
Like,
funny.
is it literally just like what's the plot behind it? Is it?
It's just
literally
a black Dracula.
Yeah. Well, it's just a
No,
Black
no,
Frankenstein, man. That's something you just gonna have to watch.
Oh, okay. So he just like wakes up in Krabby. He's like, "Arrgh."
Nah, that doesn't happen. A lot of other crazy shit happens, but that doesn't happen.
Dude,
It's like the best fever dream you've never had. You know, things like that. I was sitting there thinking this. I was like, shit, if I was on some LSD and I'd watch this right now, I'd be a whole different person.
mm-hmm.
be a
So,
life
yeah.
changer.
I mean, yeah. But other than that, though, I think you and Marco probably have to watch that by yourselves. I already had my trip. I ain't going on it again.
I've
But-
seen Black Frankenstein. I've seen all them shits.
Oh, you have?
They're fucking, yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about, man.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I was like, you gotta just fucking,
No.
you just gotta check it out.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
I mean, we
so next
can't
week on the
necessarily
show-
give him an easy plot to go with. He's just gonna have
No.
to do that.
So the next show, you guys are gonna ask me how it is, and I'll probably be like, well, it happened.
Yeah,
yeah, you gotta,
Yeah.
you have to review fucking Black Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'll give you
I will.
I'll give you the stuff you need for your rates, Al. But that's just never again. But Blackula
It can't be
Blackula
worse
2
than-
was pretty good. Like those were decent.
It can't be worse than Jack Frost 2.
Which Jack Frost? Oh yeah, you're right.
The Michael Keaton one.
No.
I know. I'm just
that's a
fucking with you.
that's a decent horror film, isn't it? No. He's
Oh,
like,
man.
I'm not
Well-
Batman anymore, but this is as good as it's gonna get, kids.
Yeah.
You know, you know, like I had to make a choice between watching Jack Frost or Star Trek Insurrection. And after watching Star Trek Insurrection, I honestly wished I watched Jack Frost, and then I did watch Jack Frost, and it made me wish I watched Star Trek Insurrection.
It's like movie Inception right there. Like, damn, I wish I did. something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, no, like Insurrection was so bad, but I'm like, you know, some people said Jack Frost was okay. You know what? I'm gonna give it a watch. So I go down to the movie theater, you know, being all cool and shit. So I go watch it, and I'm like, this movie sucks. Man, fuck this movie.
Oh, see, that's
Wait,
funny.
somebody recommended you Michael Keaton's Jack Frost?
Probably a troll.
Ah,
As
yeah.
a younger kid.
You went
as a
to a
younger
theater to go
kid. Well, I
see
was
that
younger.
shit?
You know, I saw Star Trek Insurrection in theater twice.
No. Once again, I said you went to a theater to go see that shit.
That's fucking
time.
great. What a great question.
You know, I
You went
did
to
go
the-
see. I did go see Godzilla in 1998 in the theaters. Like
I
3
did
times
as a
in a row.
kid. As a kid,
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
too.
we-
You know what? I
I
actually
went to
saw
see
in the
that
theater
too.
in the Dollar Theater. I actually watched Waterworld.
Huh.
I'm
They're
sorry.
supposed
Yeah.
to be making a sequel to that.
It was $1. You can't really bitch about it.
I know, but it was like, but the movie was like 3 hours.
Yeah, but you know,
I mean, dry land's not a myth, man. I mean, at the end of the
It's
day,
not.
he had to find it. You know, he's seen it before.
You know what? You know, I did watch Waterworld. It wasn't that terrible. I still prefer watching that over Contact. Like, I
Oh, yeah.
literally,
Contact's great.
Contact fucking sucks.
I mean, you're thinking you're about to see some aliens, but no, it was like her father.
It's like so fucking scientifically accurate. It sucks, dude. It's like having like your boring ass friend there explaining like shit to you, and you're like, yeah, that's great. Like, it's a movie that like, okay, now check this out. She goes to space and like, isn't she in heaven because she's dead? Then you realize there aren't aliens. She's just dead.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I get it. There aren't aliens. She's just in heaven now. And I'm a fucking moron because I wasted all my fucking time with this shit.
Yeah, you just had to see this movie.
You know what's worse? The slow-mo running of her getting the medication for her dad in the beginning of the film.
Yes, as if that fucking mattered in the long run.
God, that whole thing was a lie.
Like I didn't even know who the father really was in slow-mo. And she's like running at 1 mile per year. I'm like, I hate this movie. Like, seriously, that scene alone, it pissed me off for the rest of the movie.
Oh, is that why you were mad that day I was talking to you? And then you were like really pissed off, and I was like, oh, you saw Contact, huh?
Yeah. So when you went over, he had like there was like holes in his wall. And he punched him out.
Nah, he was just really in a pissy mood. I was like, what's up with you, man? And then he's like, I saw that movie. I was like, oh shit.
I like how he explains it as, I saw that movie. That's how fucking bad it was. I saw that movie, man.
Yeah, every time I kept bringing up Contact, be like, Jodie Foster's going to find some aliens, and then he gets mad.
Yeah, dude, Contact is a fucking ripoff. Even if you like watch it for free, it's a fucking ripoff.
Yes.
I was I saw that in the theaters. I was so excited to see that movie. And then
dude, it made it seem like it was going to be this like super trippy like Contact style fucking or like a Arrival style movie, right? Where she was going to go like on this like wacky little adventure or some shit. No,
well, she did go on a wacky adventure. It just nobody liked it.
To fucking Congress.
Oh,
boring.
God, don't even. Oh my God, that was horrible too. And then I was thinking like, okay, I really like stuff like Star Trek. I really like sci-fi. This movie seems perfect for me. Then I go see it, and I'm like, this movie fucking sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I am just begging the movie to be over with. And I think that movie as well was like 5 hours.
Yes,
and
it's mad long.
Happens. Nothing happens.
It's stupidly long. It's like unnecessarily long, dude.
It's an endurance round that nobody wanted at all, and it's like, oh, come on.
Did it even show scenes of her training for space?
No.
Oh
no, she just went.
Yeah.
If they show Jodie Foster training in space, I think I would have gave up on like
naked.
I mean,
like
she was kind of good
hard.
looking for her time. I mean,
you know what's worse than that? I hated Jodie Foster for the rest of her career in movies. Like, I hated The Panic Room. I hated Panic Room because she was in it.
Oh, Panic Room was decent because of the suspense factor in it.
No, it still was. Well, she did a good job, but I didn't care because she was still the idiot from Contact.
I know, Al. I know. I'm just saying, letting the people know that, hey, don't beat yourself up by looking at Contact, but go ahead and give yourself a pleasure by looking at Panic Room.
Wasn't Forrest Whitaker in that?
Jason, give yourself a pleasure by looking at Panic Room.
Was Forrest Whitaker in that movie?
Go ahead and pleasure yourself by watching the Panic Room.
Okay, I think that's when the mental institutions start calling.
Yeah. Go ahead and give yourself a pleasure and watch Panic Room. That's great.
Yeah,
I just like that sentence. That's a really cool sentence. I don't know why.
It.
That scene of rushing to get diabetes medicine. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, it was very, very good, Al. Like, she was really hurrying along to get it.
Yeah. Oh, it was so suspenseful. I just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Yes.
Serious business. But
she had to.
Wasn't Forrest Whitaker in that movie?
Yeah, Ghost Dog was in that movie.
Isn't it weird how like
part of that movie?
Isn't it weird how in some movies like Forrest Whitaker's eye will be fucked up and then it's not fucked up?
Yes.
The same exact time.
It's like young Forrest Whitaker's coming back, but old Forrest Whitaker says no.
Crazy.
Says no. That's fucking. That's sick.
What's
I like
crazy
that.
about Forrest Whitaker, though, it doesn't matter if his eye's weird or not, because he's awesome in everything he's in.
I know.
He was awesome in Ghost Dog, like I said. Yeah. Way of the
Anything,
Samurai.
it's like it's a distraction. Like the eye's a distraction because he's just really good at acting, right? So like,
I don't even notice the eye because his acting's so good.
Yeah, like the man hosted the Twilight Zone, for goodness sake.
I was like,
He did a good
yeah,
job.
that movie about that cop with the lazy eye really had me going. Like I didn't even realize that he wasn't acting. Unless he's acting so well that he thinks like lazy eyes should be normalized, so he's doing it on purpose for his roles.
Yeah, he's a national treasure.
Speaking of whatnot, Jay brought up Twilight Zone. The 2000s Twilight. It wasn't that terrible. That whole thing. He was obviously the best part. Even the Korn theme song wasn't that bad in it.
Yeah.
That entire the only thing that hurt that series to me is when they tried to remake or do sequels to old stories. They were terrible.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will take that. I will take that era over the Jordan Peele era any day.
Yeah, Jordan Peele. I think he's run himself out of gas.
I saw one Jordan Peele Twilight Zone episode. I saw two. One of them was okay, and then one of them I just completely got bored, which is weird for me. I never get bored watching Twilight Zone episodes, but this one definitely did. Isn't every episode like an hour long?
Twilight Zone?
Usually.
Yeah.
Didn't Twilight Zone used to have like shorter stories, like 30 minutes or something? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when the fourth season came along, they tried to move it to an hour, and even Rod Sterling was like, "No, this is not what we do. That's for soap operas. This is not why we made this series." So they brought it back for the fifth season.
Yeah.
But you can see how modern filmmaking sells out on things and likes to, overextend itself.
Yeah, because I think they were trying to do that in the 2000 series, and no one was really getting into it.
It's too much.
Like,
I mean, you can tell a good story in 10 minutes, let alone like
3. For sure.
Yeah, because that was my problem with the Jordan Peele episodes. Like, I completely lost interest halfway through a few episodes. I didn't care anymore. Like, and that says something, like, it really says something. And like, it, you have to like make something really compelling. But if it's kind of like, if it's something like the Twilight Zone, like, there has to be like something there to like lure you in. And Twilight Zone never has like something overly deep. It's a simple mystery thing, or not mystery, but simple like kind of like horror or sci-fi or whatever.
It's very subtle.
It's like a morality tale, if anything. The old ones, anyways. I don't know about the new ones, but
I mean, if you want something grandiose, you watch The Outer Limits.
Ugh. I'm sorry. The Outer Limits. I remember I saw one episode with something with this bear, and everyone said this episode was super scary. I rewatched it. That was one of the worst episodes I've ever watched. Because first off, the bear thing had nothing to do with anything. It had something to do with like fucking monsters or something. And they never explain what happened to the kid. No, not monsters, like alien fucking shit. They never explain what happened to the kid in the beginning of the scene from the preview. So I'm assuming he died, and like every kid died. And I don't even know what the payoff was. I completely forgot.
You said yourself he fucked a monster.
But no, the monster did stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they killed the monster or not.
Oh.
Or maybe they were the monster.
No,
maybe we are the monsters.
We are monsters.
Maybe. No. The monster is the monster because the monster ate the kid or something. So.
Well, why did they go in his house and provoke him? I mean, shit. You brought it on yourself.
Well, you shouldn't have given him a speeding ticket, to be fair. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, need to watch more.
Sometimes I say it like this. Watching Outer Limits. Oh, actually, go on now. You were saying?
Speaking of that, oh my goodness, I tried rewatching more Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. It is
Yeah, how'd that go?
absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane how, as a kid, I
That
thought
show
these shows
sucks.
were.
That show's so stupid.
It's so bad.
Hey,
It's absolutely amazing.
that
Dude,
show is.
that show's so crazy. It's like, do you think Linda really saw the ghost of her dead dog, or do you think that she just saw something? Like, do you think she has a fucking brain aneurysm? I'm like, I'm pretty sure she has a
She had
brain
a brain
aneurysm.
aneurysm.
Yeah,
I think my favorite part of all of it, right, is like the absolutely incredible acting, and then the absolutely incredible acting might be the best part of it, and the constant plot twist that always kills me when it's like, we made it because of Jeff. Jeff, that's impossible.
Jeff's been dead for 25 years.
Right.
Plot twist music. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm like, fuck this show. I fucking hate it. But I
Hey,
love it.
actually, Al, we used to watch that every year.
We did, and then I grew up.
Yo,
And then,
guys, we have to watch Fact or Fiction, because I think the dopest part is having to figure out if what you're watching was fact or fiction,
Right.
because it's all bullshit.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it all is.
the one with the evil chair. Remember that, Al?
Oh my
God.
god, dude, how stupid is that shit?
dude, the acting was incredible in it. Are you kidding?
Oh, what was that line you liked?
I will not be defeated by a chair.
And the dude's all strung out and shit. Like, he's all
Yes.
broken in and
Yeah.
crap. I'm like,
That's
what
what
the
Stephen
fuck?
Hawking said.
I was like,
With
look
a
at that.
smile.
Yo, he fought that evil chair to a standstill, too, boy.
Man, like,
And ironically, they said that tail was real. They said it was. I don't believe it. But
get the fuck out of here.
it's an evil fucking chair. I mean, yeah, okay.
Well, I guess they were really cherishing the moments of it.
I guess you could say he rolled away.
Oh my god, Jonathan Frakes is over there grinning and laughing right now because all those shit puns he used to tell too.
I'm sorry. The shit puns from Jonathan Frakes.
My favorite too is in all those stories, the way they date it is like there's always like a kid in the story, and the kid is like might as well have been written by like the Toho company, because the kid's like the embodiment of everything in like the early 2000s or 90s, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, but mom, my fucking Game Gear, or like my Game Boy, it's shit like that. Like, Timmy, calm down. He's like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's killing me.
Well, you know, they used to get away with that shit all the time in the 90s, especially like with Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? That is the stereotypical 90s kid right there. My Game Boy!
Oh my goodness, the college
Yes.
stereotypes are my favorite of all time on Beyond Belief.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to the club, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, we're gonna have a sick old kegger at Bruce's mom's house. What?
Whoa.
Whoa! Dudes, is it going down tonight?
I'm a
Dude.
kid with issues. We're going to go rob this person's house. People don't do that.
Yeah, no. Not for fun.
I mean, speaking of which, of the 90s, like, did they actually do all that crazy shit, though?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say.
Did they really do it like that all the time? Now I think about it.
No.
Because they were really forcing with some of those episodes.
Oh my goodness, this one episode where like the two kids, whatever, they like broke into like a former cowboy star's house, and the ghost of the cowboy is like, I reckon if you keep
Yeah.
I remember.
you're
that one.
gonna get the rope, and it's like the lamest scene with him slowly like whipping the rope. It was so dumb.
And all the kids are like, we gotta get out of here.
Whoa!
It's like, shut up, dude.
Or like the one where those three girls were traveling. They were traveling somewhere, and then like it turned out that there was a road sign that they allegedly saw that led them off the path of the freeway.
Yeah.
Like, oh god! And then they were like roaming around. the cop saw him and said, "Oh yeah, you guys would have ran into this mudslide that was coming around here. What told you to come over this way?" Well, she saw a sign, and he's like, "There hasn't been no signs over here. You're going."
My favorite is like, yeah, when they go like, "That road's been torn. Like that road has been blocked off for 10 years," and everyone just looks at each other like,
"Oh my god."
Who's driving? Racer X is driving? Oh,
yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's what it might as well fucking be at that point.
To be fair, though, I do like Speed Racer, and I need to get the whole damn set. But you were saying...
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, there was a level of... maybe, though, what made those fun is, like, the self-awareness of those shows, I think, is different. I think now, like, you can't even have a Twilight Zone without them turning it, like, social justice spooky stories.
Oh, you mean
time.
when it gets woke?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, enough. Like, enough. We're all over this. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want? Oh my goodness! The episode that's the definition of '90s or early 2000s cheese was the episode when all the kids were like in detention or something, and they were like writing on a chalkboard.
Oh,
they
the
heard, like,
chalkboard
the scream.
shit.
And
oh my gosh!
And every single kid is a stereotype in every way, and I love it.
Like there was a nerd, there was the pretty girl, there was the token black guy. Yeah, I still hate you, you fuck. By the way, the token black guy has done nothing more than shame all of us.
It's just so funny because like the token black guy is always like a football, basketball guy, like some miscellaneous team sport kid, right? Like,
or he wants to be an aspiring rapper, all that shit.
Right. Yo, you know I gotta go home and write my raps. I don't got time for no ghosts.
Yo, man, that's
like
what
that.
exactly happened to us. I gotta be cool with my pops. I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
And my pop said if he catches me writing raps one more time, he's gonna smack me in the head.
Yeah.
Like, what? What the fuck kind of bumpkin ass story is this? What is this shit?
They will go that far to write a fucking crutch character, man.
I think we all need to watch more episodes of Beyond Belief for sure. I think we need to rewatch the series.
Oh, actually, you guys want to tackle that as a team sometime? You know, for Monster.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fucking fantastic.
Well, then that's something we got to look into. Hey, speaking of which, though, I don't know if we covered like what really makes a monster, but it's like I want to say it's the tragic part really reaches out to me. I don't know whether it's like any of you guys, because allegedly Godzilla's tragic. I mean, you know, allegedly.
I think what makes a monster is there has to be equal amounts of I guess you could say twisted debaucherous behavior and then like a sad pinpoint of an arc for the story. So like Candyman, right? Is pretty tragic in the way it sets him up, but when he goes about doing his shenanigans, it's pretty fucking pretty intense. Like it pulls no punches with him being gruesome, right? So like I think even down to like you look at like Jason, they made him sympathetic because he was teased, right? So like you kind of care beyond like, oh, he's just a guy with a mask and a knife. You know, I think that's why those stand the test of time. Because to me, I always thought Jason was way more interesting than fucking like Michael Myers,
which actually he's based off of. So yeah, I mean, it makes a good point. But I always say this too, like, you know, like when it gets right down to it, like it's usually the people that disturb the monster too. Like they know it's there, but then for some reason they have to go ahead and fuck with it. And it's like this, like technically you're going into his home, so it's like, you know, the only one you can really blame is yourself. Like, like basically for any sort of scenario. And then if the monster knows where you live and is attacking you on your space, and you don't have any means to defend yourself, once again, it's your own fucking fault.
I mean, I guess you could say even too, like the timeless kind of concept of like Frankenstein, right? Is like this thing. It didn't choose to be. It didn't even want to be alive.
Right.
And now you've turned it into a monster just because it looks different. Like that's pretty fucking tragic. Like that's a pretty tragic concept. And the only reason why he even lashes out against anybody is because he's cornered.
You know, to be fair, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from like the 90s was like the perfect telling of that, in every way.
Yeah.
God knows it wasn't always the other movies, but I mean, it actually took the monster and told you that, it's tragic because technically his father abandoned him, So.
Oh, I think the saddest part for sure was like the only person that really gave him acceptance was the blind man, and then the family kicked him out like he was nothing and took the blind man away from him. And I'm like, that is so fucked up. Fuck you people.
You know what's my bad. I didn't mean to cut you guys off.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Underrated concept to like what makes a good monster is it's not to be funny, and I don't mean this in a funny way at all because I love this movie, but the Elephant Man. Have you guys seen the Elephant Man before?
I've seen it.
It's pretty fucking sad, and it's like a real life example of like how society can deem somebody to be a monster just because they also look different. So like the tragedy in that is he harms no one except himself at the end, and he like lays down and dies, which is like actually what happened in his real life. Because like the community he was in treated him like an actual monster, and it's just a birth defect. Like that's tragic in its own too, right? That's kind of Frankenstein-ish. But I think that's what kind of makes him. I don't know. To me, that's what makes a monster more interesting. Is like maybe that's why Spawn, maybe I guess you could say, is a modern version of what a monster would have been, right? Makes a deal with the devil, comes back for the sake of love, and he looks like a fucking burnt corpse. Like, technically a zombie.
What about Jimmy Bones, yo?
Yeah.
Yeah, to a point. But going to Spawn, though, it's even more fucked up when you realize it's not even his real body.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's more fucked up too that like no one's gonna recognize him, and then how do you come back from the dead?
Yeah,
like I think to me that's what makes him more interesting. Like maybe that's why we were ripping on like fucking Darth Vader, but like he's kind of an asshole, and then he got superpowers, and then he got a super suit, and then he still has superpowers, and he's still kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
still kind of an asshole. Did you see what? He just chokes people all the time.
I know. He's like, "Where's my Diet Coke?" And he's like, "Sir, you left it in the other room." And he's like, starts choking me like, "I better not be cold."
I gotta admit, the way he did that stealth diss to Landa, well, actually, it wasn't even a stealth diss. He just pretty much told him, "I'm changing the deal, motherfucker, and there's not a thing you can do about it."
That was pretty
gangster. Perhaps you feel you're
gangster.
treated unfairly.
I think Darth Vader is more of a space pimp than like a bad guy. Does that make sense?
What if Darth Vader and Jimmy Bones teamed up in a comedy?
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Special.
It'd be the coolest thing ever.
Darth Vader, I got anger issues. Jimmy Bones is like, my town betrayed me and stabbed me.
And then you throw in Clarence Thomas III in there. I'm just kidding. Clarence Williams III. Ain't no Clarence Thomas. I was hoping to see who would catch that. By the way,
I was like, here we go. What is this?
Clarence Thomas. That's my next username. Who the heck is Clarence Thomas?
He's good one, Al. Good one. A U.S. Justice of the Supreme Court, or what? Or what most people in the black community would say, the fucking sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see who the fuck this guy is.
Oh, Clarence, you're going to go look him up? Well, technically he's a monster, too. I mean, he's against Roe v. Wade.
He's a monster? That's crazy.
Well, hey, we got a whole bunch of real-life monsters in, Congress. and political forums.
That's true. And to kind of go to that, like, we're talking about like a sympathetic concept of like what makes a monster, right? Like, you think that's what fascinates us with like overly humanizing mass murderers?
No.
Like romanticizing, like we romanticize like Jeffrey Dahmer. We romanticize like Ted. What is it? Yeah, Ted. I was gonna call him Al Bundy. Ted Bundy. Yeah.
Al Bundy. I was saying no in terms of me, but like I guess yeah.
You know who does it a lot? This is gonna sound crazy. You know who does it a lot? Women do it a lot.
All the time.
Yeah, because women are like, oh, but as a boy he was treated so bad, and you know everyone looked like his mother. How sad! And you're like, ew. All this is gross, dude. Like, run.
And you know, they used to get a lot of prison letters for some of these guys if they didn't make it to death row on time, because they said they could rehabilitate them and change them. And it's like, I don't know. I think he was kind of fond of doing what he did. And then
I don't think he didn't know what he was doing. You know?
Yeah, man, they go too far with that shit sometimes. Like, rehabilitation is possible, but not with what old homeboy's doing. I used to say.
Yeah. No. I think at some point you got to call the loss a loss. You know what I mean?
And a lot of stuff on MSNBC or Don Lemon's in charge of it. He'll tell you, oh yeah, that you don't really know what's going on. He was just abused and mistreated. I was like, okay, well he can whoop your black ass up then.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
Let him cut your throat open. That'd be fine.
Yeah, since you're all about this life now, go on ahead, jackass.
Yeah, since we're doing like the whole poor him, he was a victim shit. Like,
what about the 13 people he killed? He didn't need to know them. He just went after them.
Right, exactly.
Like, and the same thing can be said about Gacy too. Like, I've seen a lot of Gacy documentaries lately. I'm like, damn,
yes.
Do you really? Do they really love this guy? I'm like, what the fuck?
For some guy who like raped and murdered a whole shit ton of little boys, people do feel fucking sorry for his ass.
Yeah, and then like a lot of other people, they actually work for him. You know, like working either one or two of his businesses, and he was like, you know, I want to talk to you privately.
Yeah,
all that crazy shit.
And then you fucking never come home.
Yeah. And then Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm having Chinese tonight, but not the same way you are. You know, things like that.
I guess you could say he was all that in dim sum.
Served him up with egg rolls. Just right.
That's fucking crazy.
And then, well, we could go into like what BTK does, and we can also go into like what the Zodiac Killer does, which allegedly somebody came out and said that they were the Zodiac Killer, but I was still kind of like, you know, iffy on it, because it could have been 3 people for all we know, or a mantle. I mean,
do you think it was multiple people for the Zodiac Killer?
I think it was. 'Cause, I mean, for one instance, he'd be on the West Coast and then he'd be on the East Coast, right? So had to take a lot of time.
Maybe he
for
had
him
a
to
bus
get there.
pass.
Yeah, maybe he had a fucking.
Maybe he had a bus pass.
I don't know. I don't know. Was Greyhound really reliable at that time?
Yes.
The people mover.
Greyhound.
Well, God knows it wasn't the damn Delaware bus line, I'll tell you that.
The Delaware
That's right.
The Delaware Mass Transit System.
That's probably why he avoided it, you know?
That or he probably didn't
He's
know.
like, man, I ain't going on. Probably not.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. That's fucking great.
Oh, man. There are so many jokes about the Delaware bus line. I could go on forever with that.
Is it that bad?
It's not good.
Oh, damn. Fuck.
I mean,
I don't think any bus line is
trying,
good.
But nah.
Yeah, I don't think any city's bus line is going to be like a award winner.
No.
I don't know. The one time I took like this bus to Pennsylvania. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. I was too scared to leave the bus, because I was like, what if I had to go to the like gas station and I want to get food and come back and the bus is gone?
Speaking of monsters, dude, like, did you guys ever hear that story of a guy beheading somebody on a Canadian bus?
What? No. Go ahead and tell the story.
In front of people. So all of a sudden, they're on some dark ass road somewhere on like some long ass like bus line, right? Overnight drive. And so what ends up happening is fucking, this guy just pulls out a knife, like a big old machete, and just starts grabs this person by the hair behind them and just starts sawing at their neck out of fucking nowhere on this packed bus, and doesn't assault anybody. All the witnesses say that like, oh, he was like pretty nice before what happened, right? And next thing you know, he cuts this person's head off live in the bus, and then fucking just walks on out, surrenders to police, and they arrested him. And that was it.
So he just went after that random person?
Yeah. It wasn't like specific. It wasn't like he was following that person. It was just he was gonna do it to somebody.
Well,
he had
probably because
had
that
an
guy
itch to
really
go ahead and
cut
take care of it. You
Probably
saying
got
Al?
mad at the guy for cutting ahead of the line.
No cuts.
Get out.
No ticket.
That's enough. You get the hell out with that shit.
Get out. Get the fuck out of here, Al.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
are you suggesting I'm heading out?
Yes. Leave with that crazy shit. Nah, I'm just messing around, but that shit hurts, by the way.
Yeah.
Bastard speaking in tongues.
That was fucking crazy, dude. Like, and that was it. People said he walked out of the bus. He waited for police to show up. All sorts of crazy shit. Yeah. Just, I think that's another thing too. Is I think real monsters don't have. There's no redeeming. There's nothing. It's just, you know.
To be fair, we were talking about tragic monsters, but you were saying, Al, what wild shit were you saying?
Do you think after he did it, right? He walks up to the cops, surrenders, and goes, "Sorry about that. Sorry about the mess back there. I just lost my head for a second."
Do you think if he comes up to him, he goes, "Man, I guys, I'm so sorry. I had the wrong person. I thought he was somebody else."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
Can the
okay,
other guy
son.
go-
You just go home. Don't worry
I'm
about
sorry.
killing that poor unfortunate bastard.
I'm sorry. I was actually aiming for his arm. You know, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Considering the incompetence that is surrounding us, I'm surprised they didn't just go ahead and elect him to public office. He gets stuff done. Population control.
I'm sorry, sir. I was just looking to move ahead of the seat charts.
Yeah.
See, there goes Alan getting me back for those damn bad puns I threw at him.
Yeah. But
fucking jerk.
But yeah, that's crazy. So is he still in jail now, or what? How many years ago was this?
This was a while back, but I'm pretty sure he's still in jail.
Okay. Well, I mean, they did catch him, so...
I mean, I would hope he's still in jail. This is fucking Canada of all places, so who the fuck knows?
Did he have a ponytail? Because I suspect this guy had a ponytail.
I actually think he did have a ponytail. Now that you say that,
Knew it.
There go Alan again.
Deducing.
No,
He knows the truth.
I do know the truth, and don't you forget it. But yeah, so I don't know. When I think of the definition of a horrifying monster that is deeply thought, I do think of Jimmy Bones. You know his love of his life stabs him.
Dude,
for no
you were
reason.
sitting there talking about fucking Jeffrey Dahmer in the pre-show. What the hell is going on with you, Jimmy Bones?
I think my favorite
Jimmy
modern day
Bones.
monster is Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Bones was a tragic character, and all $10 of budget. Gotta give him props.
$10
Jimmy Bones. Do you guys know who Jimmy Savile is?
Nah, man. Go ahead and tell us.
Nah, I really don't want to. It's pretty fucked up shit.
No, it's the Monster Fest, and yeah, we got plenty of time in the show. Go ahead.
I feel like it'd be cooler to hear you guys read what he's done if you don't know. Is that okay? Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
How do you spell the young man's name?
Jimmy, so Jimmy like regular Jimmy, right? And then Savile is Saville.
Yeah, Al, how about you read off what he's done? Go ahead and read the rap sheet on him.
Okay, well, first off, he seems like a very sane person from what I'm reading already.
Okay.
But what? Holy shit! What?
What did you see?
Okay. Once you're done processing it, read it for Jay, because I feel like even the listeners they're gonna enjoy this spooky little rendition of a real life monster.
Right. I didn't even get to like the main thing. Is it's on the tagline? It's like Savell was an English DJ television personality who hosted a BBC show, including Tops of the Pops and Jim'll Fix It. Wow, that's terrible shows. He raised an estimated $40 million for charities, and during his lifetime was widely praised for his personal qualities and fundraiser. After his death, hundreds of allegations of sexual abuse were made against him, leading to the police to conclude that Savell had been a predatory sex offender, possibly one of Britain's most prolific. There's been allegations during his lifetime, but they were dismissed. And then he worked in a coal mine as a... What? There was more about it. So apparently he has hundreds. Alright, sexual abuse scandal. Let's take a look at it. 214 alleged acts. Damn. Well, if you look at him, it's... He
looks like a goblin.
Yeah. God damn, can you imagine those poor souls, you're randomly doing something, all of a sudden here comes this freaking creepy ass goblin probably running at you at 50 miles per hour with his hands out going, hello there. Yeah.
Hello, I'm a knight.
Hello, governor.
Yeah.
May I have your balls? Anyways.
Jesus.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, apparently Jim'll fix it, indeed.
Yeah.
By breaking so much.
So, apparently this man was also, sexually assaulting the corpses of dead children. And he had ties to the royal family because he was knighted, and he was, Prince Charles' best friend.
Well, that explains a lot, yeah.
All right. And this fool had, there's fucking documentaries, dude, about how he would, sexually assault whole wings of mentally ill children at these mental hospitals.
Like a formal line or something?
Almost. The stories are fucking bizarre. And compared to Jimmy Savile, Darth Vader doesn't have shit on this man.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Well, at least Darth Vader just ends the people's lives. This guy's I'm not done yet.
I'll be back tomorrow. No, please, kill me.
No, you didn't get killed. Well, I'll still be back tomorrow.
Yeah, oh, fuck.
Oh. And you see, this is why the Monster Fest Hall episodes are great. What
a way to end it, to name a real-life monster in our time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this guy is a fucking...
it's not exactly over yet, because I was going to talk about, how something like that is similar in this movie called P2 with Wes Bentley in it. Where you play a deranged security guard who manages to trap Rachel Nichols. And, he managed to trap her and everything, but old boy was... He was practically wanting to marry her and shit, man, and she just didn't take it. Because after all, he did, use... chloroform to go ahead and knock her out and then tie her up to have this dinner and shit.
Oh,
man, so just be aware of the parking attendant you're nice to and shit, because you never know.
That's true, dude. That's pretty true.
I don't know. It sounds like a realistic thing that would happen for ESPN reporter Rachel Nichols.
Yes.
I was rude to my parking attendant, and then he freaking chloroforms me.
I mean, it was pretty graphic for its time, though. I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, okay, so this seems kind of generic. But then it goes up the ante when he had his attack Rottweiler and everything, and he had he was after her, dude. He had a taser and shit, locking her out of stuff, and You know, she was
What?
and then like he was talking to her on the intercom the whole fucking time, and she was thinking that she was getting actual help, and he was he really played that role.
That's messed up.
Yes.
That's pretty fucking extreme right there.
Yeah, like he was really, really after her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's like really no explanation why either. You were saying now?
So it was like American Horror Story season 2. Remember when the woman like was trying to get out of the mental institution because that lady was like, randomly had her locked in there, and then she agreed to escape whatever with this guy who was like an alleged psychiatrist, and it turns out the psychiatrist was actually a serial killer.
Yeah, exactly like that.
So she thought she was being helped the entire time. It was just a ginormous plot twist, and like in the end, she just like got into a worse situation. Yeah,
that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and he did kill the other security guard, and then like this one dude like during a Christmas party, like one of her coworkers. He groped her and all, and he was like, "Oh no, we're gonna make sure he never gropes you again." So he had him and Rachel Nichols in a car, and then went ahead and ran into the dude, like smashed him against the wall and everything. Like this movie's actually a pretty decent. I would like to say it's 4, because it's very creepy, subtle, and it can actually happen to you. And it happened during Christmas time. So,
I don't mean to laugh at I'm just laughing at that name because I'm just imagining these weird horror movie situations, and just hearing Rachel Nichols like bitch about it. This sounds fucking hilarious for some reason.
Yeah, but when it gets right down to her, it's kind of justified because she's a bitch.
Oh yeah,
in the movie?
Oh, we got
no, not the movie. Rachel Nichols. You've seen The Jump before, right? That show on ESPN. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is she really a bitch? Is she like really just like a rude person or what?
Yeah, all this shit came out about her. So Jay's like saying this, and I'm just imagining like the actual Rachel Nichols in this situation, and it just sounds so fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Like it's like she's calling the cops, "Help me! Gotta help me!" Like, it's like, I don't know. Imagine her trying to calm the situation with a situation like that.
She could never calm a situation, man. That's how she got fired.
I know. Can you imagine? Like, she has to completely diffuse like a really bad situation. She has to handle it to the best of her abilities. It's Rachel fucking Nichols. She's gonna die in like 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, but the Rachel Nichols I'm talking about was the lady that played Scarlet in that first G.I. Joe movie. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if anything, like this particular movie was crazy because and then he sicked the dog on her, right? And for those that are dog lovers out there, this is not a movie for you because you actually do see her defend herself against the dog and kill it.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it.
So that's why I say that. I think it's definitely a 4. There's also another one where it's like a revenge slasher I saw, and I mentioned that on the mini bites, but I'll go ahead and mention it here. Like Valentine, same thing. Like, love hurts, and man, if that guy didn't get it, And those 4 other women in there, especially bitch Katherine Heigl, had it coming.
Is she in there too?
She's in there for like she's in there for about like 6 minutes. Then she gets cut up.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
I
mean, she had it coming though, because she was one of those girls that, like the main dude, the main killer actually is a, he's a tragic figure. Like he got mistreated and betrayed by one of them because all he really wanted was to have a girlfriend, and like the bitch ended up lying on him and saying that he attacked her. And he got beat up by all these bullies and stuff. And then he got sent to reform school.
Oh.
So in about 10 years, he comes back and...
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like he's just coming back to fucking, I guess, get his...
Yeah.
In terms of, like, what he feels is owed to him of his own respect.
Yeah, it's a revenge story, and you know what?
But
he managed to do right by it. He managed to get them all back, and the bitch that betrayed him, he managed to get her guilty of all the crimes. So that was actually pretty clever.
So is he supposed to technically be like the protagonist in a way, almost?
No, we mostly followed the circle of girls that betrayed him. So
got it.
You know, it would be a more interesting movie if that happened. Like I give it a 3 because they never find out his real name. They find out his alias and all, and then he's still a bit unstable. But he managed to get with the girl that was actually nice to him. So in a way, it's like a bittersweet ending.
Gotcha.
But it's called Valentine.
Would you recommend it?
I recommend it. At least watching it. One time. That's all you really need.
Got it.
Because by the time you already know that it's David Boreanaz as the killer, it's like you just know. Because they don't make any qualms to hide it, and you're like, oh, that's him. But it would have been better if he said like it's me, Jeremy, instead of like it's me, Adam.
Got it.
So.
I used to call myself Adam during my work calls.
Man, nobody cares about your sex line.
No. During tech support calls, if there's a client pissed off, dude, who are you? I'm like, oh, my name's Adam.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. So it's like if they're writing this scalding review of me, it would be Adam. I'd be like, hey, I don't know who Adam is. I'm sorry.
But I will tell you, I play him on the radio, says Alan.
Yeah. I play him on TV.
Adam's my arch. Yeah, me and Adam bought cars together a year ago, but I don't actually know him,
Yeah, his alternative name. But the guy who made Valentine, he also made Urban Legends, which is pretty much a generic take of Scream. All the killings are done by Urban Legends.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are terrible movies. Those movies are terrible.
Oh, I saw the second and the third one, Al. Want to put that on your picks list?
Yeah, all right.
He's like, no, I'm just doing that to him. I would never. Because the first one was just bad. So, but at least he managed to get something right with Valentine, though. He managed to get something right with that. So I give it a 3, but I give Urban Legends a 2. And I give P2 a 4 because it kept me interested throughout the movie, and I only start riffing this stuff when it really gets stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really riff anything because it got pretty terrifying.
You got scared at it?
No, it's just terrifying it was just really terrifying to look at because it's like, he ended up overflowing water into one of the parking areas. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty terrifying. Yeah,
it's like this is how far this guy will go.
Overfilling a cup in the sink.
Well, she was in an elevator and she wasn't going to get out of it, so he ended up opening the elevator doors, dropping a fire hose down there, and turning on the water to overflow it to drown her ass. It's like some of that shit that Wes Bentley was doing in that movie. I'm like, is he really acting, or is this what he does on weekends?
How long would that have taken to run a hose till somebody drowns?
Well, considering that it's in a confined space, not long.
That water bill is going to be hell.
Well, he ain't paying for it, though. It's the company.
She's paying, all right.
Where the guy had the plan that lock her completely in a 2-story house and board up all the windows and then point out, in 3 days, you ain't going to make it now.
If it even gets up, she's upstairs. So you're
shit, I forgot to block the stairs.
It's going to take fucking 2 weeks.
Well, hey, the fun part about all this is those movies I mentioned, they're on Tubi, so if you ever want to check them out, they're up there.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're on Tubi.
I'll be honest, I love a bad horror movie. I love a really fucking bad horror movie. They're actually sometimes more fun to watch than
a good one.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like, okay, I can wait the 2 weeks. I have Final Fantasy VIII.
We
just sitting out.
Oh my god.
One of these days, I guess I will do a power play of Final Fantasy VIII, and then have Alan in the room to go ahead and say what he needs to say.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Which was a decent game until you
like,
figured out the plot.
Yeah.
Well, it will last 2 weeks, till the water reaches up to her, no! What if he finds out the 2-story house had a giant basement too? So it'd be 4 weeks. So you'd have to find
I know.
something else to do.
And then like the windows aren't airtight, so the water's just like coming out the windows at the bottom, like the first story, and you're like,
well, now speaking of 2-story houses, though, I think A Stranger Calls is on Amazon Prime. I haven't seen that in a long time.
That's a good movie.
A Stranger Calls. That sounds super familiar.
The one with the one with Camille Bell in it.
Oh, okay.
Prom Night is really good.
Yes, Prom Night is good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there was this one horror movie I will never watch again though. It was that Stephen King movie.
Which one?
Yeah.
Sleepwalkers. Fuck that movie.
Oh my god! You mean the one where like, the one where the mother and son were actually very incestuous cat people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was stupid as hell.
You know what's weird? When I was a kid, it freaked me the fuck up, and then when I was an adult and I watched it, it's the dumbest, stupid movie I've ever watched in my entire life.
Those practical effects were pretty good for their time. I mean, especially as a kid, but when you get older and you look at that stuff and you delve into it, nah, not so much.
The corn death was pretty good, though. When the cop got stabbed with a corn cob, that was still pretty
That was fucked up.
That was hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I thought it was fucked up because it was like he just wanted to eat.
Yeah.
Well, don't go to strangers' house to eat. The cops should have known better.
Like.
See, you crazy, man.
Do you think in your mind as a kid, do you think you amped these movies up because like you just knew they were horror movies, quote unquote, but you didn't realize like, had you like now looking back at it, you're like, this movie fucking sucks. Right?
No.
So, like,
I watched most of my horror movies from like this local TV station that we had when we were when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
It's called like Ned the Dead, like Chiller Theater and stuff. And
okay.
So he literally said these movies suck. So, but they're horror movies, so that's how I got into them.
Yeah.
Oh, see, well, that's cool, man. Like, I've already mentioned it on the last time we did something. Like, it was USA Up All Night. That's how I managed to get into it. But, like, a long time ago, though, watching Chucky films, like, when I was a kid the first time, yeah, he got me. But when I started watching them over again, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you kind of realize, like, why am I afraid of a toy that's, like, no higher than my knee?
Yeah. And
like,
somehow he had his super strength, though, because, man, them adults were struggling, right? Like every damn time.
I never understood that at all. It's just like, why does everyone suck at, like, beating up a toy?
But they never do hit him in the head. That's the thing.
No.
Why don't you just pluck him and throw him into the dumpster?
Well, they did. Eventually, they threw him into, like, the fireplace in the first one.
I know, but, if they watch Terminator 2, they know that stuff can melt back together.
Oh, you're going that way, huh?
Yeah.
You're going on that one, okay.
Just throw him to Goodwill. You'll be fine. You're like, hey, maybe some other person can enjoy him. Here.
That is a fate worse than death. But you see, the thing about Chucky is, the only reason why he kept dealing with Andy is because he told Andy the secret. So that's like the only reason. It's plot. It's more of a plot thing. So, but in the third one though. Well, no. In the third one, though, they never really explained why he went after Tyler.
Probably a golf lesson that he went wrong.
Oh, shut up, Al.
It's a secret of the back nightmare.
3 is the one where, like, they're in, like, the military school, right?
Yeah, that's the military one.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was just fucked. Like, that's a pretty fucked up scene when he puts, like, real bullets in those guns.
Yo, wasn't it though? I was like, oh my god.
That as a kid was like, whoa, that is fucked up. Like that to me was like, yikes! I didn't think of that. That's not pretty sick, but that's pretty clever, I guess you could say.
I mean, Chucky wasn't playing around at that time. Like you could easily look at his face, and he's like all pissed off and shit. I was like, what the fuck? And then he starts loading up the live ammo in the guns, knowing full well they're all gonna wipe each other out at this point.
Yep. Yeah.
That was actually pretty smart, yeah. And then, like, it started to become comedy when Tiffany came around. But,
If only they scrapped the Tiffany storyline and got Fred Flintstone on it.
Oh my god.
Oh man, if Fred Flintstone was a murderous, killing caveman, I would watch that in a minute. That's easily a 5.
Well, like Fred Flintstone just like busts up in there and like, Chucky, you gotta stop doing this, and I gotta go back to work. Like Fred
That's
Flintstone
too elegant for Fred Flintstone. You know damn well. He talks a little more with a blue collared thing, man. You gotta do better than that.
Yeah, you gave him like a whole Downtown Abbey sound.
But what I was thinking was like, what if Fred Flintstone and Chucky had to get an apartment together in the Bronx?
Now, I'd like to think that Fred makes a good living in the rock quarry to never ever have to go to the Bronx. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, the Bronx is expensive now. All gentrified.
The plant that Fred Flintstone owns like got bought out, but they wanted him to be a tech support agent, so they took him over there to because he had familiar with the machines and stuff like that.
Okay, why didn't you just use Elroy Jackson, man? Jesus Christ! That sounds like something he would. That sounds like something he would deal with.
Elroy got hit by a car on the way there, so they had to pick Fred.
A flying car?
Yeah, exactly.
You know something, Alan? The Hanna-Barbera universe is very fucked up right now.
It was a drive-by flying. It was tragic, and he didn't make it.
Drive-by flying.
Yeah. So
nice.
So Fred Flintstone, in honor of his son, has to go to the Bronx for like.
His son? He only had Pebbles. What are you talking about? His son.
Well, you see. Well, anyways, I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom really fast.
Yeah. Get the hell out of here with that crazy shit. All that retconning.
Oh my god.
It would have been better off with Bam Bam. You fuck. Anyway.
Nobody likes Bam Bam. All right, I'll be right back.
Adam, I could probably see the typical possessed child is probably Bam Bam. He's a Children of the Corn type character.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's totally about that life, but I'm like, I love Alan and his wild stories, man, but I'm like, nah, motherfucker, nah.
That's insanity.
That's too much, damn it. It's too much.
Oh, man.
Hey, I was going to delve a little deeper on, Venom 2, but I did promise that I was going to do that on the J-Man show. So that's when you guys will really get that gist of it. Because to me, it wasn't that bad. It was just, I mean, what do you think you're going to have? I mean, when there's a certain central character that's not there, you got to work with what's left. And,
Venom, I think, too, is...
his lore is good, but... Yeah, you're saying...
No, not to interrupt you, but I just think, too, is, I think if you're going to start to pull punches, we talked about it, on State of the Art a little bit, but, when you start to pull punches on the concept, when you can't just go, when you can't even show, blood or gore with your concept that's obviously built out of blood and gore, right? Mm-hmm. Then already you're at a disadvantage. There's not enough creativity in how you present it for it to be shocking in any way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the level of to me, in my mind, I think a Venom movie should have the kind of gratuitous humor in its violence as the Saw movies did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. So that's I think for me where it's hard to see it that way. Yeah.
No, that's right, because I mean, dare I say it, everybody, groans about the PG-13 rating, but if you do it clever enough, you can actually stretch the PG-13 rating and put blood in it. But nowadays, everybody nerfs it because they don't really understand the rating, and then at the same time, whoever's in charge of that committee at the time doesn't understand it either. So
right, exactly. And I think that's the one thing, too, is for them, they think, instead of maybe he doesn't have to kind of slightly swear, maybe to get the PG-13, we can have him say thing, or we can have him kind of cuss a little bit, but we don't have to show anybody die. Yeah. It's why?
Yeah.
I'd rather see the gory side of it and just don't write swear words. Who gives a shit?
I mean, for Carnage, you would want to see that because it's in his name. That's what he does.
Right.
I mean, he's already a serial killer in human form. But with the symbiote, that's pretty much times 10. So that's why you would want that. But, nowadays they're really just trying to market to get things for people to be in seats. And then if you start saying something like Venom is, something like Venom is actually family friendly. He is, but he isn't. The only reason why he's family friendly is when Spidey's around, and that's about it.
Right. And I think that's where, too, like, that would have been more fun, right? You have your, like, whole super rated R concept, except then what you do on the flip side is, like, when he has to go fight Spidey, the MCU is, like, this neutered, family-friendly universe that you could have almost used as, like, self-awareness for Venom.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, and then you could have had that internal battle of, like, Eddie inside of the symbiote also kind of trying to tell Venom not to swear so much around all these high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, I don't know, there's comedy that could have been there, but you have to, like, it has to be twisted with, like, that hard, crazy concept, but to do it with the way that they need it to fit into whatever, like, Deadpool will not be good if it's not rated R. I think we can all pretty much agree to that.
Oh yeah,
right. Like
if it's really Nerf, then nobody's gonna enjoy it.
Right, exactly. Like it's gonna be unnecessary at that point. You know. And that's the saddest part.
Like, I mean, they went ahead and did the fan service thing by letting us see like him and Korg hanging out, but it's like, well, what's the next adventure gonna be? Is he gonna team up with him, or like where we go from here? Like, is it a part of the whole timey-wimey ball thing? Is the X-Men gonna be around? I mean, little things like that.
Yeah. It's like, too, like, if you do a Wolverine movie for a character that has blades on his hands, right? If you put him in a fight scene and you don't see any blood, I'm eventually just going to tune out.
I mean, it's not the early 2000s anymore, so people are going to be wanting to expect blood.
And that's the thing is, if you put blood in it, it's rated R.
No.
You know, like there's no Wolverine fight scene where he punches a bad guy in the head and that bad guy just gets like knocked out and falls down, right? He's got blades on his hands. So if Wolverine punches a bad guy, he's going to have to pierce through that bad guy's head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are common issues.
They did get it right in Logan, but by the time you see, like, I guess the Wolverine too, but they did get it right in those movies. Around like X2, he did stab like a bunch of the soldiers, and they never bled out. So it's like,
yeah, and that's the thing too is like, so let's say his last movie was Logan, right? Like the last Wolverine movie or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you look at that concept, if you put him in an MCU Marvel movie, no one is going to like it because by default, the thing you've already seen done right has been shown to you.
Yep. No suspense anymore, you know?
Right, and that's the thing too is like, so like, Wolverine has blades on his hands. If he fights Captain America, he's going to stab Captain America, right?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, so if we never see that, and it's just a bunch of kung fu-y wooey, dodge and block and shield and stop and punch and fly, everyone's going to go, this is fucking stupid.
Especially
because
if it's over
mind,
and over
well,
again.
They could just say, they could just say Wolverine just poked him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no light way to do it where like barely the tip of the blade goes into Captain America. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like because his Kevlar armor is able to block adamantium.
Thank you. The shit that's unmeltable. You know?
Well, I got
that's
vibranium in my suit, so
right. It's the shit that tears through Sentinels.
Yeah.
You know, those 10-story tall robots.
Which, by the way, were done very well in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, and then they went along and just kind of fucked it up.
God,
that's
they
another
look
thing
like
too.
Shit, man. Now that I think about it, I mean, I used to love that movie, but then
it's like they did it right for a quick second, and then they fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? But anyway.
Yeah, well, we can say that for Superhero Day.
Oh, yeah.
But
you can say that for DC fandom.
Yeah. To be fair, though, we are talking about a lot of horror stuff today, and we managed to get a lot of things wrapped up. Not to the point where we're not done with doing these Monster Fest Hall episodes. You guys down for another one?
I'm down for another one next week if you guys are.
Yeah, maybe we should go ahead and do that, because during special occasions, Hangouts and Jams can be in the same week. So yeah, we could do another one.
Yeah.
What do you think, Al?
Well,
He agrees. He
don't
agrees.
know. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's fine. I was going to LeBron James it. I was going to LeBron James it till Jay ruined it, but it's okay.
Wait. I already know you were trying to go ahead and be dramatic about it, you jerk. You're already assigned.
I was.
You're assigned on it, okay? Mark it down.
Well,
Mark it. All right.
All right. I guess now I can't do my ESPN 1 hour special about it. Okay, fair enough.
You know what? That is exactly why you're watching Blackenstein by yourself.
Fair enough.
and that review and report is due next week, son.
Oh, indeed.
Remember that.
I'll send you your template a little bit later, but yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I want it written out in Avid style.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for this episode of the Hangouts. And thanks for joining us here on the Monster Fest. Things are going to keep continuing soon enough. We got a Power Play special happening for you tomorrow around the same time. And then that's at twitch.tv/J360TV. I want to thank Marco for joining me and Al tonight. You guys take it easy. Peace.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.